Spider-Man, here comes Spider-Man. Look at his ball!
Finally after 20 years of buying literally every bloody Spider-Man game, just hoping that each time we would get the one. The game that Spidey deserves. The game that we deserve. Guys, I know we're a little late with this one, but goddamn, I was so busy soaking up this fantastic world, I just didn't want to rush it. So without further ado, let's begin the review. Superhero games tend to take a lot of flack. I mean, understandably so, as the vast majority are cash grab movie tie-ins or complete rush jobs. Looking at you, Activision. But on rare occasions, something magical happens where a developer who actually cares about the license they're working with gets the opportunity to shine. We last saw this with the Batman Arkham series from Rocksteady, and I'm delighted to report that this is definitely the case with Spider-Man PS4. From the moment you start the game, developer Insomniac sets the pace for the rest of the game by thrusting you into a fast-paced infiltration scenario against one of Spidey's most iconic villains, Butterbean. The mission is typical of a large portion of the game, as it has you speeding your way through New York, kicking the crap out of tyrannical task forces, stealthing through air vents, and finally facing down the boss man with a truly epic cinematic boss battle. The comic fan in me was in pure nerdgasm. The first thing I was struck by when playing this game was the insane level of detail that had gone into Spidey's mobility. Previous titles like Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 had some really nice ideas, but were poorly executed and rushed, and I have to say it seems like Insomniac took all the things that were nearly good in those titles, polished them to perfection before adding their own spin on the way that Spidey moves and fights. He's fast, agile, and incredibly resourceful. Literally everything around you is a weapon, whether it's car doors, crates or racking that you can smash your foe with, or just a surface to stick your foes to. If you're creative enough, you'll be amazed at how much creative design has actually gone into every aspect of the game. And the web swinging. Guys, the web slinging is so much fun. So after the initial starter missions, you start getting access to new suits, skills and talents. These are purchased with tokens you earn from doing the busy work side missions littered throughout the map. I'll come back to those in a minute. There are 28 suits, each with a unique ability that once earned can be put onto any suit in the range. From extra limbs to super web attacks, but I've got to be honest, I played the majority of the game with Spider-Bro, a taser shot firing drone that basically incapacitates everything in your vicinity. I mean, look at this little guy, he is so friggin' cool. In addition to the suits, you have 3 talent slots which you can put various passive buffs into, like better healing, higher damage, etc. And also there are 3 skill trees to build upon Spidey's skills with. So, with all these unlockables, you're gonna need some tokens. These are earned, as I mentioned before, by doing busy work around the city, and if players will have anything to gripe about, this will be it. It's basically the Ubisoft blueprint for seemingly pointless shit that make the game appear bigger than it really is. Things like towers to open up the map, collectibles and challenges, etc. The thing I found though was the game makes it just so much fun being Spider-Man that I kind of didn't mind and never felt like they were too much of a chore. However, there are some people who this will be a turn off for, and so it's worth mentioning that there is a lot of busy work to do, a lot of tokens to get, and if you don't get gold on all of the challenges, then you won't be able to unlock all of the suits. Boo. Okay, you knew this part was coming, and I'm pretty sure every review will touch on it. But here come the Arkham comparisons. Although Spider-Man PS4 is its own game and the systems are fantastic in their own right, there's no getting away from the fact that this game is heavily influenced and inspired by Rocksteady's Batman games. Its DNA is in absolutely everything, from the stealth gameplay to the combat, puzzle solving, and even some trippy drugged up hallucination scenes a la Scarecrow encounters. But it's all knitted together so well with this sort of tweaks that separate how Batman and Spider-Man differ in their physicality, that the inspirations just make it a stronger game. The 2 things that are polished to perfection in this game are the web slinging and the combat. Swinging around the city is so fluid and dynamic, I found myself just swinging around for hours not getting much done, and I would be surprised if this was not the case that everybody picks up the controller to play it. And the combat is brutal and hard, like really friggin' hard, guys. You're gonna die a lot. But once you get the hang of it, you will be feeling like a bona fide badass, making Spidey bounce around like he's drank all of the gummy berry juice. Also, making use of Spidey's gadgets are a must. I gotta say, seeing people getting taken down by the trip mines never gets old. Unless you were bitten by a radioactive mole as a kid, you will be able to plainly see that this game is gorgeous. But when playing, the detail really starts to jump out at you. I mean, you can see into the buildings as you swing past them, and their water is almost photorealistic. And I've got to say, the frame rate was really stable throughout as well. The animation set on Spidey is done so well that it almost never looks like you didn't mean to do whatever mad aerial manoeuvre you accidentally pulled off. My biggest issue with the whole game is that there is no day and night cycle, but rather, depending on what part of the story you're at, dictates the time of the day. In the sequel, I would like to see them change this because, let's be honest, in an open world game, it's kind of become an expectation. The audio is mostly amazing, all the voice work is great, with no particular character letting down the side. All the thwips, whips and quips are on point, and at no time was I not enjoying the cutscenes. Music, however, is a little bit of a different story. The main music of the game is very reminiscent of the Avengers movie theme, and although that is a great piece, it seemed to be the only music you get outside of the main story. It doesn't ruin the game by a long shot, but it's a criticism that I feel just needed to be voiced. Spider-Man PS4 is a very good game that has been polished to damn near perfection. It's fast, fluid, and most importantly, it gives you a real sense of being Spider-Man, something that no title since the PS2 days has accomplished, in my humble opinion. Something I really haven't talked about much is the story. I didn't want to go stumbling into spoilers, but let's just say, this game has a better story than the vast quantity of big budget superhero films. If I were to suggest anything to the developer for the sequel, it would be to cut the stealth scenes where you play as MJ or Miles Morales, as although these were really well executed, the game is at its strongest when you're playing as the Spider. Final score? It's a 9 out of 10, and we're also going to give it the golden weird. This game is an absolute masterpiece. It's the game we hoped it would be, and I can't wait to play the sequel.
Here comes Spider-Man, here comes Spider-Man. Look at his ball!